The Teen Phantom Part 29 in audio. After a while in paradise they both come to reality, with Sarah saying, "Mother, would it be okay if I am in Aunt Jane's lap as I tell you all the things I need to tell you? I can see my mother's face better from Aunt Jane's lap. That would make me very happy, Sarah. I will start with my workout." Jane is shocked when she speaks. "Workout, what do you mean by that?" Sarah turns her head and looks up at Jane. "It is the self-defense arts a friend of mother's has been teaching me ever since Grandpa let me be in mother's class. Isn't that neat, Aunt Jane?" Jane looks at Charlotte with utter astonishment. "So that is why Dad would take Sarah with him regularly, sometimes for most of the day." "Dad or Sarah didn't tell me what they were up to and I didn't press them. You two cannot be serious. She was not much over 3 years old, and you remember that day, Sarah?" "Why wouldn't I? It was the greatest day of my life until today. I didn't need my mother's help as the other kids did. Grandpa still let me be in her class. He let me call him Grandpa when I was with him. He even let me call Charlotte Mother when I was with him too. He said no one else should know, it would be our secret. He showed me and told me other secrets that I should keep even from Mother and Aunt Jane until I was older." "Yes, and your grandmother thought you would be such a nuisance that your mother would change her mind." "Was I a nuisance, Aunt Jane?" "No, never. You even ended up helping some of the other kids. You were not even a nuisance when you were a baby. I even enjoyed changing your diapers, but you didn't wear them for long, though you broke yourself very young. I looked forward to feeding you. When your mother got back from her trips around the world, she would do all of that, and I really did enjoy watching your mother change your diaper and feeding you. She was set on changing your diapers and feeding you when she was around." "Did you really enjoy watching me?" "Yes, I really did. That was the only thing we had in common. My mind would go back to when you were a baby before Mom flew me away to her little planet. You were as sweet as Sarah was. After all, you do remember me telling you that I took care of you from your birth until you were 3 years old. Just as we took care of Sarah, Beth helped me at first and taught me about motherhood. Mom would not breastfeed you. She had me to put you on a bottle immediately. I just could not understand the way she was with her own little baby girl. I understand everything. I know why Mom had to keep her distance from me, and it was almost 13 years of misery. I do not see how she did it and still be sane. She will tell you all about it. She has many things to tell you, Jane." Jane is very concerned as she looks at her little sister, but she does not press for details, for which Charlotte is very grateful. "I am sorry, Sarah, I have interrupted you." "That is okay, Aunt Jane. I didn't know you took care of Mother as you took care of me. That sounds neat, but I feel so sorry for Grandma. I have always loved Grandma very much." "You can go ahead with what you were telling us now." "Okay, Aunt Jane. Johnny, you know, the new kid that is almost 5 years old, he is my real close friend, and I had him pretend that he was sick so I could do what I needed to do." "That truly sounds strange. You needed to do something that desperately. I suppose there could be things that important." "I feel bad to have him deceive the nurse, but it was very vital. You remember, Aunt Jane, the day I had to mess up the 3 boys' heads?" "Why did you need to do that?" "Jay and Terry said they were going to take me down, take my panties off, and throw them over the fence. I really didn't know whether they were just teasing me or if they were for real, but I could not take any chances. I really didn't do anything to the 2 boys, but I still caused them to mess up their heads. Carl, I kicked in the head so hard I thought I killed him. I was so scared and felt so sorry. After everyone left, I came down from my tree. I found Johnny and told him I needed him to play sick and I would send the nurse to him. Then I went to the nurse's office and I told her how bad Johnny needed her, and that I would take care of the 3 boys while she seen to Johnny. It was very hard to convince her that I could take care of things while she was gone, but she gave in and told the boys that they had better behave themselves while she was gone and that I would be there if they needed anything. When I went in where the boys were to take care of the business I had come for, Terry said, so you finagled your way in here so you could finish us off, did you? Carl told him to shut his big mouth. I went to Carl and told him I was very sorry for messing up his face. He says, you did. The last thing I remember is you scampering up that tree like a little squirrel. I thought I fainted. My face is feeling a little sore now. Something must have hit me. I do have a faint fuzzy memory now of seeing you standing on that limb. Then I told him that I kicked him in the chest and in the face and I was very sorry. He gives me a nice smile and says, you are a sweet little girl. We had all of that coming and more for what we did to you. I would have never let them do what they said they were going to do. Like a fool, I just went along with them wondering what you would do, and I certainly found out the hard way. I am the one to be sorry and I am very sorry, Sarah. I respect you very much for what you did. I told Carl that I loved him very much and would always be his friend. I give him a hug and kissed him on the cheek, and as I turned to go to the other two boys I noticed that Carl began to cry. When I tell Jay and Terry that I am sorry, they say, you didn't do anything to us, we were just stupid. So I told them I was so sorry that they were stupid and hurt themselves. Then they begin to laugh so hard they cried. That is when Judy the nurse came in. She looked shocked, and when we got back in her office she asked me what I did to make the boys cry. I told her I didn't make them cry. They were happy and felt a lot better now. I don't know if she believed me or not. I asked her how little Johnny was and she said much better, but the brat would not take any medicine. That ungrateful brat told me that I was just trying to poison him. It horrified me. I never thought about her giving him medicine. I explained everything to Johnny later. I also told him I was sorry about the nurse thinking he was a brat. He gives me a big smile and says, don't feel badly about anything. I enjoyed it. I would do anything to help you, Sarah. You did the right thing, Sarah. I am proud of you for apologizing to the boys. Jane, my name is on legal papers as Sarah's mother. That has been since she was 10 months old. Jane looks very shocked. How long have you known? I just learned it this morning. Great-grandpa, that is it, isn't it? Yes, Sarah's parents were close to our great-grandfather. You're sneaky. You wanted what was best for her too, didn't you? If you want to get a good seat in the balcony, you and your little girl best be heading that way. So it is the balcony for us. Yes. Before the Reverend ushered Mello away, he let me know that the main sanctuary is reserved for the prospective students and their parents, except for 3 seats reserved for Nikki, Mello, and me. Of course they are prospective students. That is fine with me. I love the balcony. I should be going too. I will walk down with you. As they get up to leave, there is a knock at the door. Who is it? It is your mother. Jane gives Charlotte a very stressful glance and Charlotte assures her that everything will be okay. When Jane comes into their mother's view, their mother face shows signs of shock. She turns to Charlotte with a mischievous smile. You are a cunning little thing. She is one of Mello's close friends, is she? She really is, Mom. You would lie to no one, would you? But you make them think anything you would like, though. Just tell them the right facts. She turns back to Jane with a happy smile. You are beautiful, Ada Jane. She gives her an affectionate hug. I have treated you badly, Ada Jane. I would like for you and me to have a long talk sometime soon, and you have many apologies coming. At the door, as she prepares to leave, she looks back at Jane. I would like for my hair done like that. You think you could? Jane stares at Mom with a look of awe for so long that Charlotte begins to think Jane has lost it. Eventually, Jane comes to her senses. I doubt that I could, Mom. Nikki did mine. She really knows hair and it would thrill her to get to do yours. I appreciate that, Ada Jane. I am looking forward to meeting her family. Then she looks over at Charlotte. I will not be going to those rip-off shops anymore. I will be making all my dresses if I can get Beth to teach me. I will see you all in church. After their mother leaves, Jane turns to Charlotte. What has happened to Mom? Has she had a soul-wrenching experience or has she talked with an angel? Perhaps both, but how would I know? I just rode to church with her. You cunning little thing, you know a lot more than you intend to reveal. You covered for me, didn't you? Sort of, I guess. Jane sweeps Charlotte off her feet, into her loving arms, and Charlotte receives the cuddling that no one but Jane can give. She sits in the recliner with her sweet little sister enfolded in her arms. Jane pours her heart out. You are my sweet little guardian angel, though I could not live in your world, I could watch you from afar. In my darkest moments you were the light that brightened my life. You have never been just my little sister, you have always been my life source. It is paradise to be back into your world again, Tyke. Then she kisses her little sister on the cheek, and says we should be on our way. They look up at Sarah, they realize Sarah has been watching them. You love my mother as much as I do, don't you, Aunt Jane? I certainly do, Sarah, she is like my own little girl. On the way to the sanctuary they meet Mello, he is in search of Jane. Charlotte introduces Mello to Sarah as one of her dearest friends and Sarah as Sarah May Chapman. Sarah speaks with a sweet smile. I am pleased to meet you, Mello. It is all my pleasure, Sarah. Then Mello looks at Charlotte with concern. I did not realize you had a little sister, Charlotte. Before Charlotte or Jane thinks of what to say, Sarah speaks. I am not her sister, I am her little girl. Isn't it neat to have such a wonderful mother, and an aunt like Aunt Jane? Mello looks dumbstruck, but he manages very well with the shocking news. It certainly is, Sarah, you are a very fortunate little girl. Then Mello looks at Charlotte with a mischievous smile. You are incredible, Charlotte. Truly I should not be too alarmed, not after you helped yourself to my great-grandfather. You have a fantastic way of obtaining anything on which you set your mind. I am grateful. I am not your enemy. Your enemies do not have a chance. Charlotte gives Mello a sweet smile. I don't know that I have any enemies, but we will have a good long talk. It will clear up almost everything in your mind. I believe you, but not that it would change things if I didn't. I am looking forward to that long talk. Sarah looks up at Mello with concern. If you will talk with my mother you will feel much better. Mello's reply is with great concern. You certainly know your mother well. When Mello looks over at Jane his eyes are misty. Jane takes his hand, and as they turn to go Mello says in a whisper, what a sweet little girl. Later Sarah and Charlotte enter the balcony. They notice someone in the far corner. It looks as if they are praying. They ignore the person, but with respect. They are very quiet as they walk to the front row seats in the center of the balcony, giving honor to the person's privacy. It makes one think of twilight in the balcony, since no one has turned the lights on yet. There are no windows in the balcony. The only light available is what little it is from the windows in the auditorium. It is not much light. With Sarah snuggled in her arms, Charlotte truly feels like a mother. It is not long before they hear the person in the far corner of the balcony. Sasha, is that you and Sarah? Yes, it is, Mom. Charlotte's mother makes her way over to where they sit. Would you mind me joining the two of you? Sarah speaks quickly. We would be delighted, Grandma. Her mother looks at Charlotte with shock. Mom, I thought it over and decided you were right, but we couldn't wait until I found someone to wed. Her mother sits down beside her. But what will people think? Is it legal? I care not what people think, and Dad is guardian for both of us until I am of age. There is no problem if it is as it should be. That all makes sense, I understand. Why are you not down helping the Reverend? I resigned my position this morning. Isn't that upsetting for him on such a short notice? No, I was not needed anyway. He was a little surprised. He expected it, but not this soon.